Today is a Grief Beyond Death episode. What does that mean? This is where we bring in someone from the community to showcase their talents, their programs, and their services. And they also walk us through the type of grief they have dealt with in their life, as well as grief they've dealt with in their purpose and passion, right? So, it's also an opportunity for our community leaders to give themselves flowers. Yes, we deal with grief, but we also want to heal through that grief. So, Grief Beyond Death is a simple way for our audience to see that everybody deals with grief, but at the same time, we can still heal and celebrate our wins. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hey, my beautiful faithers. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 62. I just wanted to come here and introduce you to our guest today on this Grief Beyond Death episode. So we have L.R. Wilson, who is not a stranger to healing She Got Faith. She is the owner and founder of L.R. Wilson Consulting LLC, which specializes in personal and professional development. She is an international motivational speaker and prides herself on assisting clients with becoming their best selves in every area they show up for. She is also the founder and executive director for the She Foundation, where she works with both justice and non-justice involved female identifying persons with attaining skills needed to acquire the life they desire. And she's also one of my business baes. We do a lot of work together. Last year, I got to travel to Cabo with her. Her philanthropy work goes far and wide as she mentors Black and brown girls through Project Diva International and Future Leaders Matter. She also gives back by working with young moms and providing them with skills to enhance their lives along with their children. She's also a keynote speaker. She brings a wealth of knowledge and experience and confidence to every stage that will ignite a fire of confidence in all who are present. Some of her hobbies include traveling, empowering others, and spending time with family and friends. And of course, she is one of our favorites. She is not new to Healing She Got Faith. She has actually interviewed with us before, but also she's a really good resource, not just to her community, but to an international community. So it is my honor and pleasure to reintroduce you to my business bae, L.R. Wilson. I hope you guys enjoy the show. And we are live. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Healing She Got Faith show. And I am proud and excited to announce that we got one of our very favorite people back on the show, Miss L.R. Wilson. Welcome.
Hello, people. Hey, babe. This is my business, babe, y'all, in case y'all didn't know.
Yes, welcome back to episode 62. As you know, this is the Grief Beyond Death, but y'all know LR is not a stranger to healing. She got faith. She been in the game since
Yes.
day one with us, so I'm super excited to have her back during Women's Month, during Social Work Month, and just because, like she said,
Mm.
that's the bae right there, so it's only right. So yes, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
I am in a good place right now, and it's more about living my life now because,
Mm.
after you live your life so long for other people, and then finally when you're like, you know what, I got this. I'm about to do me. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm doing me. And I mean, you can
Okay.
either go with me or you can stay there and I'll be back.
Okay. So
But I'm doing me.
that's 2023's life lesson. It's only March. Like it's about me
Yes.
today.
Yes. We in the third month. Okay. The three.
Okay.
Okay. We in it.
Powerful.
So we ready.
I love that. That's how I am. I feel like 2023 was that realization of yeah, it's about me now. I've been about
Yes.
y'all. It's about me. Like
Yes.
I've been quiet. I've been to myself. I've been doing what I gotta do. Look, I told you
Facts.
that big loud
You know
car.
what? We welcome y'all. We welcome y'all. Come on in. Come on in to Healing She Got Faith. We all
Okay,
right with the
okay.
podcast like this.
It's always so fun when we record. It's always such a pleasure. Y'all don't know, LR is fun in real life. I've traveled internationally with her. It's always a party, okay?
Yes,
It's
yes,
always
yes.
a party, yes. So we're definitely going to jump into that, talk about what you've been up to, give us an update on everything. But before we do that, let's start with our icebreaker. So today I'm not picking a card because I don't feel like it, but I do have a really good
That
question
part.
for you.
Okay.
So tell the people, how do you envision yourself? And think about it like, when we were kids and people are like, what you want to be when you grow up? And then we grew up and we like, this is not what I envisioned.
This is
But
not what I had said. Okay.
okay, with who you are today, with all the things you've accomplished, with all the healing you've done, how do you envision yourself?
At this point in my life, I envision myself as someone who is leaving a rubber stamp on everything that I do. Everything
Mm,
that I do, everybody that I touch, every arena that I step into, like L.I. Wilson will be in household name. I'm rubber
mm,
stamping everything going through. And it's important to me because people watching, okay, in case y'all didn't know, people watching y'all, okay, even the ones that say they ain't watching, baby, they watching extra right now.
okay. Them other
So
views.
right, that's some other views. That's what I want. Like, I want it to be a staple in the community. L.R.
Yeah,
Wilson to be a staple in everything that I touch. Like, that's the rubber stamp that I'm trying to leave everywhere I go. So, and
yeah.
my energy. That energy is everything. So yes, that's what we doing in 2023, Pooh.
I love that. I love that. And you could just tell just by all the healing you've done. Like, that wasn't just like oh, let me say this on the air real quick, but that was a real, like, no, like, I've worked for this. I've worked to
Yes.
be this person that I am today. Like, you don't even understand how hard I've worked to be this
Woo.
person. Like, so, and
Don't make me get to crying right now.
okay. Cause listen, I feel like we met what in 2020, 2021, I think.
2021. Yep,
2021.
2021.
And I feel like
Hmm.
even then, like, we were both like, and we'll get into this, but like at the time you had your program, but you didn't have like your nonprofit just yet. And
Right.
then but you still had LR Wilson Consulting, but like me and you were both on the radio, me and you
Yep.
connected through that way. And I felt like we in that same situation, we both realized like, I'm working too hard for other people and not my
Too
brand.
hard.
And we
That part.
connected after that. Like, we connected like, no, like, this is my passion. This is where I'm supposed to be at. And then to like just see you grow and blossom. Like, first of all, that was my first time going to a She conference, and that was the best
Yeah.
conference experience I've ever had. And it was in Cabo. Like, I had never been to Mexico before. And it was just the love, the energy, the life lessons, the
Yes.
fun.
Yes.
I mean, like, it was so good waking up every morning and just seeing your people at the buffet. Like, and even their husbands and kids, like, you like, oh,
Right.
you at Walmart. Come here. I'm your people. Come here. Like,
Right.
it was just
Everybody's
so
like, even the
fun.
men, all yeah, y'all coming to the conference? Y'all coming to the women's conference? It's like we had the men out there like promote.
Yes, I swear, I swear. It was so good. So I'm really thankful to be able to witness your growth and just who you're turning into. But I'm also, because I don't think we talk enough about like how we should embrace our present self. And I feel like every day that we talk, because we talk a lot, y'all.
Yeah.
Um I just
Yeah.
love, like, I just want to bring this up. Like, it was one day when you started your health and like when you started back working out,
Yep.
and you sent me your waist beads, and he was like, "Cause who not finna be slim thick?" And it was like 10 o'clock at night. I think I was just got in bed, and I complimented you. But then the next day I woke up, I said, "Oh, girl, them is so cute." And you was like, you sent me the picture again, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so gorgeous. But like just who you embrace yourself like in that moment, and you do that every day. It's not just a
Yep.
milestone, but every day
Right.
you embrace yourself. And I think that's so good because we just don't talk enough about that. We always talk about the past, we always talk about the future,
Right.
but to embrace who we are today, I think it's so dope. And I feel like you are the prime example of this who I am today. You gonna take it or you gonna leave it?
That part. Whoever we show up as, that's who we are today, Pooh. So you either gonna be on board or you not. Because regardless, we gonna show up like we show up. You know.
Okay.
I know today I posted a thing about Happy Self Love Day. Like it says Happy
Hmm.
Self Love Day, Queen. And you give the best gifts ever, and don't forget to treat yourself. That's what we forget a
Yeah.
lot about, and
Yeah.
how self love really looks good on us. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
it is. Yeah.
And in order for it to look good on us, we got to embrace it. Like you got to
Absolutely.
be there. You know what I mean? You got to show
Absolutely.
up whichever way you show up. I mean,
Okay.
here I am.
Yeah.
Girl, you not if y'all don't watch me or know me, I show up on the screen with my hair on top of my head, with a scarf on, a
Okay.
hat on, because like the reality is we not dazzed up every day
No, we
like
not.
in everyday life. And when you see me wearing makeup, it's a meaning. Because baby, I don't do that every day. That is not my life. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Listen, if you don't catch me in these crop tops and fabletics, honey, listen,
Fact.
that's a blessing because I be in them things every day. Like, and I be cute. Don't get me wrong, but baby, I be in them things every day.
Right.
Like,
Right.
dress up, baby. You gonna get this crop top.
You gonna get all of this. Okay. It ain't gonna be no secrets, boo. All of this.
Nah, that's absolutely beautiful. I love that so much. So, since the last time you've been on the show, we always ask the question, describe a time that you have grieved and how you got through
Yes.
it. So, is there anything new that you have grieved that you have
Yes.
gotten through it, and would you like to talk about it?
Absolutely. So one of my best girlfriends, like we were friends for over 40 years. If y'all don't know, I'm a fabulous 48.
Okay,
Yeah.
period. Period. You didn't
But
know, now
we
you know.
now you know. But we were friends since we were 6 years old. Like we grew up together. Me, myself, my friend Rochelle, who is RW Global Travel, who does
But we
all
love
my
her.
conferences.
We love
Yes.
our Rochelle.
Our good friend Risa. We were friends for 40 years. Like I said, we've been friends. Our moms were friends, and she passed away in January of this year with some sickness that had been going on that we didn't know about. So I was angry. When I tell y'all I was angry, I was so mad. And I was more mad about what we could have done,
Yeah,
but we didn't know,
yeah,
so we didn't have the opportunity to step in.
right.
And then I had to, like, I grieved hard, like
Yeah,
real hard. Like, I disappeared. Like,
absolutely.
don't bother me, don't talk
You
to me.
really did though. You really, because me and you went
Yeah.
to talking like every day to like we went weeks without talking. I mean, you did me the grace of at least texting me and checking in, but we went from like
Yeah.
almost talking every single day to you was done. Like once you
Yes.
told me and Renee, because we was in that group, once you told me
Hmm.
and Renee was on the show too. Once you told me and Renee that Risa had passed, it was like it went from talking every day to you was like, I just need my space.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that was
And
that.
I had to do that because I wasn't in a good place. I wasn't in a good place to help nobody. I stopped my business. I
Mhm.
wasn't taking no referrals, no calls, no appointments, no nothing because I needed that time and space for myself to be able to go through that. And when I tell you it was something that I don't think I've ever experienced that before. Even like, but when I was on the show before, I talked about my divorce. That was
Mhm.
like a funeral. Like I was
Oh,
grieving during that time
absolutely.
too. Now I went into a deep depression. I don't want to say nothing light about it because I went into a deep heart depression
Yeah.
with suicidal ideations, drinking,
Oh,
drugs, all of that. But this one hit different.
yeah.
Like this one hit different because we were just together in June. At an
Mm.
event. I had just seen her. Rochelle had just called me from the hospital room on FaceTime, so I could see her and talk to Risa. And then all of a sudden, it was downhill from there. you know,
Mm.
and just to, like, I felt like I couldn't breathe. Like,
Right.
it was like, oh my God, what is happening? And I functioned at work. But when that, how you mask things to get
Hmm.
through it, like, it was definitely a mask. And then I was done. But
Yeah.
it was so hard for me because I couldn't be, I wasn't in a place where I knew, dang, I could have did something. We could have did something. You should have told us. When
Right.
I tell you I was angry at her, I was angry, I was sad, I was pissed off, like all of that. And then she was 48 years old. So 47, 40. Oh yeah, because we're the same age.
Yeah.
And it was just like, why? Then I got to questioning God, you
Yeah.
know, and then I had to like snap back. Like, you don't question. I mean, he rules. He does everything. Whatever you believe in, your universe, your what have you, that's what you believe happens. And I had to reevaluate my own self.
Yeah.
And it hit hard though. When I tell you I boo cried for weeks and days on end, like, I mean, and I couldn't even be there for Rochelle because I was too messed up. So she was being there for me. And so now it's like her turn to grieve, but
Yeah.
she's not there yet. So I'm just embracing myself, to be there for her.
Yeah.
But that was one of the hard ones because when you get to know somebody that's been there for you, will be there for you through the good, the bad, like y'all done cried and snotted and thought it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And then it was just heavy. It was heavy on me, and I just needed to my time and space to get through it. That's how I got through it, by isolating myself. I'm not to say that that's the best way to do it, but that works for
Right.
me because I don't want
Right.
my energy spilling on somebody else.
Right. Right. And I think that's good because I think we have to one allow ourselves to grieve. Like most people don't, and that's
Hmm.
just like most people just don't allow themselves to grieve. But when you get to a point, and I'll say this, I believe you were able to isolate because you have healed. You knew
Yes.
how you function. You were comfortable in who you are as a person. Me, I know that I'm a self isolator too. Like I need to process things before I can tell you like, hey, this is what's bothering me. Like you said, like I was angry, like we could have done something. Like it would probably take me weeks to figure that out. Like what exactly am I mad about? Because I have to put names to everything that's bothering me.
Yes.
I
Yes.
process that way. So when people be like, oh, you being difficult, you not asking for help. I'm like, no, I'm just processing. It just takes a long time because that's just how I am. Like
Right. Yeah.
whole time I'm journaling, I'm like trying to figure out, like I'm literally trying to put a name to what I'm upset about. And so I think that's good to hear. Because most people they just feel like we gotta keep it moving. Like it don't matter if I'm
Right.
losing, I got kids, I got a husband, I got this job, life goes on. And it's like, but it don't have to, like
Right.
you have that freedom to say, like, damn, I'm hurt right now.
Right. And then too, also because I don't have a significant other, that was another part that it was like I don't have anybody here to console me. Not
Yeah,
that I needed, not that I needed consoling every day, all day, that type of thing. But the moments where I needed to cry, where a moment where I needed to lay on somebody, I mean somebody's chest or something. I did.
need to rub somebody a little chin hurt.
Yeah, rubbing up an ear down my hand, when I needed that. I didn't have it. And I think that made it worse as well
Yeah,
because you don't have that person. Of course, you have friends. You also reached out like, oh, let me know if you need anything. But the thing is, I don't know what I need.
exactly. Oh, say that again. Oh my God, that's the word. That is
Right.
the word. I don't know what I need in grief.
Exactly. I don't know what I need. What I do know is my friend is gone. And I don't know,
Mhm.
and I'm processing right now. So I can't tell you, oh, I need you to bring me lunch today. Or can you have something sent to me? Oh, can you do this? Because I don't know what I need. I know I need my friend,
Yeah,
but that's not happening.
yeah,
So that part was a lot too, not having anybody to help you console, like a love, you know what I mean, like a partner. Because of course I
yeah.
got friends and all of that, but yeah.
I want to touch on that real quick because I feel like as part of the single woman club,
Hmm. Okay,
I
and
feel
I am
like
the CEO.
okay, listen, I'm the
Right.
assistant manager.
Hey.
um, I do feel like especially as I've gotten older, it's always like I've been hearing two sides to this. Like, oh, you not healed enough. You shouldn't want a man, or oh, like why you ain't got a man, right? It's like I'm always hearing two sides, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I can be healed but still want a man, right?
Absolutely.
Right. But also too, I can put myself out there and still don't have a man.
Absolutely.
And in these moments, what do I want? A man.
Right. Yep. And the reality to it all too is it's about what you want. Of
Exactly.
course we can go out and get anything we want. I mean, that ain't hard. You know,
Right, right.
it's the quality we looking for. Because baby,
It's the
quantity is
quality.
not the issue. It's the
It's
quality that is the issue.
it's the quality because one thing that we said at the beginning is I'm doing something for me, and one thing that is included in this, I no longer want to settle for the bare minimum.
Facts. Okay. I
I've
ain't
done
even
it.
settling for the minimum right now.
Exactly,
I'm
exactly.
coming high
I'm not
roller.
even settling for what's supposed to be done and giving you kudos. Like, no, like
Okay.
there's certain qualities that I'm looking for in a man that if you're missing one of them, I can't
Yeah.
compromise. I've been compromising my whole life on my
Come on
happiness.
now. Come on.
And I can't. And I can't. You either gonna show up and show out, or you gonna show up for somebody else because it ain't gonna be me.
And then the two, it's not even that I can, I won't. I'm done.
Exactly.
I'm done because I know what I bring to. Not only do I bring what I bring to the table, I am the table, the chairs,
Exactly.
and the floor that it sits on. Because
Okay.
after all is said and done, I know who I am and who I aspire to continue to be as I grow. I need somebody that want to grow with me. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
another part of grief as well. You know, grieving what you don't have.
Exactly.
So come on.
Exactly. Oh, that's a good one. Cause that's where I'm at right now. Like I don't think I'm grieving a physical death, but I'm grieving the things I thought I was gonna have, including a love
Yes.
life, including the success of my business,
Hmm.
including all the clients, including the date nights. Like it's so much other stuff that I just thought I was going to have at the age of 31.
Hmm.
It's so much stuff that I thought, like, after putting in all this hard work, time, blood, sweat, tears, I just knew was going to happen for me, and it hasn't yet. And so a lot of people are like, okay, so the other day, um, one of my friends in my group in St. Louis was like, they were like, "Oh, have you thought about like doing medical social work?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. Like that's not even my forte." Like, and so my one friend was like, "Well, just try it part time, and just get you some experience. Use it for its like incentives and stuff like that." And I was like, "I don't even think I qualify to be a medical social worker. I'm just gonna be completely honest." And so another friend was like, "You could do anything you put your mind to," and I was like, when I was in kindergarten, I think that was so cute. But at the age of 31, I just don't think that's realistic. And like, I'm pretty sure she was offended by that. But I just was like, we got to stop telling ourselves these fairy tales. Like, right? So,
Mhm.
like, the reality is, I thought I was going to open this building and have clients galore every single day. I thought I was going to get
Right.
bookings. Like, I just knew my success was going to look a lot different.
Hmm.
Right? So, I'm grieving that part.
But
But
also, I don't mean to cut you off,
oh, you good, you
but
good.
one thing is you brought that service to an area that claimed they wanted it.
Yeah, right,
So that has nothing to do with you. To be
right.
quite honest, it has nothing to do with you. It's about supply and demand. They demanded
Mhm.
something, you supplied it, and they failed with the follow through. That's what that is.
Exactly. That's the systematic stuff that I'm always talking about.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So you're doing everything that you need to do. You're
Right.
on your path to doing everything that was meant for you to have. It's coming.
Yes.
It's there.
Yes.
Some things, when we're talking about grief, some things die on the vine,
They do.
and it's
Oh my
okay.
gosh.
So
Yes.
let them fall off.
Yep.
Let that fall
Yep.
off because that just opens more pathways for other things that take you into the realm where you're supposed to be. That's a
Man.
stepping stone.
Yes. And I've literally like I'm not one. I don't explain myself anymore to people. Like if I'm close
That
enough to
part.
you, I just say it. And one of the things that I've been saying is I know I'm doing everything I can. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? And I think right now at this point it's about building that village and getting to the right people. Like you said,
Right.
supply and demand. So they demanded it. I gave it. They didn't supply. Cool.
Hmm.
So now I'm in the process of, well, I still got to show up for me every single day because this is my passion.
Absolutely.
This is my purpose. And so even when there's nothing, quote unquote, being shown, I'm still showing up because at the end of the day,
Yes.
it's for me. And so I think one of the battles, especially being in this industry, social work, social service, and then working
Hmm.
with a lot of people is you fight a lot of voices. And so that's why
Yes.
it's so important to be confident in who you are as a person.
Right.
Because what I'm doing doesn't make sense to majority of the people I talk to. Like, oh, you ain't got nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how you live, and it's like it's not your place to figure that out.
Thanks. Okay,
It's not
figure
your
out how
place.
you living first. Oh, don't get me started acting up on
Okay.
this show. But
So, and I think that like even with bringing my friend back into the picture, like I think a lot of times we tell ourselves these fairy tale things like you can do anything with your mind to, right? Theoretically it's true, but at the same time, like I have done it. Like I said I was gonna start a community center.
right.
I did just that, right? So I put my mind to it, I did it, right? But there's more to it. Like there's more battles that we gotta fight, like the systems, the
Hmm.
policies, the funding,
Yes.
the clients, like, and then on top of all of this, being in the social service industry and we're literally in a recession,
Uh-huh.
we're fighting that as well.
I don't know if people know that part though. I think they just found out right now.
So I think they just found out, and it's so funny because since last year I've been saying we are in a recession, right? But what just happened in the last 2 weeks? So if you don't know, you're about to find out. We had a bank one of the biggest banks that
Yep.
collapsed, right?
Hmm.
So now what's everybody doing? Now everybody's talking about, oh, the banks are starting to collapse. If you would have paid attention a year ago, it was
Okay,
already
then.
happening.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
already happening. Now though, since it's made national news, oh now we all wanna
Now it's a big deal.
no no
Hmm.
no. We me and you, we've been through this. Like we've been waiting. Like
Facts.
we've been waiting on the announcement. Like
Been
we saw this.
preparing.
I saw this in 2020. I said this does not look good.
Right, right, exactly. But then they call
Mhm.
us crazy.
We the conspiracy theorists, but okay.
Right.
We
And
just
what
working
had
the
happened
system.
was it crashed, like we said.
That's it. That's all. Like I know a little something.
Right. I mean, not only that, it's Women's Month, so we already knew what we was talking about back then.
Okay, because
Y'all better
listen,
listen.
just listen to us. Like we be knowing stuff, right? So I think and I think when it comes to grief, it's just like knowing who you are. Like
Yep.
even talking about the recession, like back then when we realized oh shit, we got to do some stuff to
Mhm.
to prepare for this, and people thought we was crazy, and here we are. Like, and I think that's why I'm not tripping. Like, even though I don't see the fruit of the labor, like I know it's there,
Yes,
maybe not
absolutely.
physically, but I'm not tripping. Like I'm gonna do what I gotta do, and I might call you and cry like, "Hey, today's a really bad day.
Mhm.
Imma
As you
just
should.
cry." Right. Imma cry, but, Imma go to that meeting tomorrow or whatever.
Right. But Imma be there though.
Imma be there, but today fucking sucks, like
Right, absolutely. So, and we live in the moment. So
yeah,
if today
oh, yeah,
sucks, then today sucks, and we will move forward.
and move forward and call it a
Absolutely.
day. And I
Yeah.
think that's important to know about grief, right? And because I just I look at our community and I look at our society, to be honest, and nobody likes to address their grief, whether it's death, whether it's that relationship, whether
Right.
it's their job, that drink, excuse me, or any of that. Like
Right.
nobody likes to do it. So I really appreciate how you describe like I needed to isolate. I did just that. Here we are. I love that.
Right.
I
Absolutely.
love that.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love that. So let's transition a little bit. Why don't you give us an update on LR, what you've been doing, what's been going
Whew,
on?
Lord. So I opened a nonprofit because why not? you know, which is
Whoop,
the
whoop,
She
whoop, whoop.
Foundation. And it started out as a, first of all, this was given to me like 10, 11 years ago, but I wasn't ready then. And the She Foundation came out of the Facebook group that I used to have that I dismantled, called Sisters Healing, Evolving, and Empower, because it was time for us to move out of Facebook and move on to a grander platform
Oh,
of helping
absolutely.
people. So, and then my women's conferences are under the She umbrella. Well, I shouldn't, it's under the LR Wilson Consulting umbrella. However, it's tied to She in order to talk about sisters healing, evolving, and empowering. So that's what I've done. I have the foundation there, and it's www.theshefoundation.org. SHEE. All right, don't get it twisted. SHEE dot
Sweet.
org.
Thank you.
Yes, where we, help both justice and non-justice involved females, identifying persons to learn life skills. Like point blank period. Everybody do not know how to do a resume. Everybody does not know how to do a job interview. Everybody
Mhm.
don't know that you got to stay on a job to keep a job.
Exactly.
Like, it's a lot of things that people don't know, and we just assume they do because we know it. That's not the case.
Mhm.
And through that, we have self-care. We have self-care. We have grief. This is our lady here. Grief and trauma healing purposes for everybody. It's a lot of things under one umbrella where we want to make sure that people are getting what they need.
Yeah.
Last year, we had our first gala in October. It was a Harlem Nights theme, so everybody came dressed
Yes.
as the Harlem
So
Nights to
dope.
represent the Harlem Renaissance. This year it's the '70s show, so we gonna
Period.
all come out in afros and mini skirts.
Period.
So this year is October 14th, 2023, here in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. So make sure you guys come on out. You can also, hey, before, let me just plug on her show right quick, okay?
Please go ahead.
Listen, because we're looking for sponsors too. So, and in that sponsorship, you get to be on our social media platform, as well as in our booklet to showcase your business. So we're looking for sponsors. Sponsor letters will go out soon, all over, because we have women from all over the world that
Absolutely.
subscribe. So it's just not a Minnesota or a Midwest thing. We have women in Canada on. We have women
Mhm.
over in England on. So anywhere, because I'm out here promoting businesses all around, especially women,
Absolutely.
because I'm about empowering us. I mean, we'll take me into, but I'm just gonna put it out there. I am a female empowerment person. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then the next conference this year is July 20th. I'm sorry, 22nd, July 20th, and it's in Jamaica. And we have our own private island in Jamaica for this. So it's going to be bomb.com.
Yes.
RW Global Travel is doing everything once again. We just out here doing what we do. LR Wilson Consulting LLC, that's me, your girl. Okay. We
Period.
are moving towards a corporate foundation platform, whatever you want to call it, where we're bringing in more people to connect with and to get in these spaces where people don't talk about things.
Exactly.
So I'm out here working, grinding. If there is anybody out there that would love to contribute your time to show us about grant writing, where it actually get the grant money, because I can
Yes.
I can write them, but I need the special sauce on it that
Okay.
tells them, hey, give them the money. We looking for you. We looking for you,
Yes.
because we're out here trying to do what we can do, and we're grieving things that are gone and lost and nevermore, and moving right along,
And
because everything that dies must grow again, and we ready. We out here ready
okay.
to do it.
Okay. Got a bunch of phoenixes. Okay.
Yes.
I love this so much. Yeah, I've been working with LR since 2022. Like, we've been hitting hard, like working on
Yes.
LR Consulting, She Foundation, and Healing She Got Faith
All
all
together.
in one. Yeah. When I say we've applied for the same grants, like, there is no hate in this. Like, if
No,
LR sees
never.
something, she send it to me. If I see something, I send it to her. If LR need me to do something, I go
Right.
right ahead and do it, and vice versa. Like, it's never LR had a hour and a half layover in St. Louis, and we made our way to each other. Okay, like, it's
Right.
all love, and I wish people would start doing it. Like, that's what your village looks like, right?
Yes.
Being able to just show up, and you might not even think it's much, but just being able to show up like, hey, I have this idea, how do I format it? Or
Right.
hey, I need
Right.
this letter to go out, can you write it for me and can I
Mhm.
edit it? Hey, can you go on Canva real quick and just say, oh, we need a sponsor, just doing stuff
Absolutely.
like that. And stuff that don't even take money, it don't take much time. It's literally like, hey, listen, I got all of this, can you please
Yes.
do this for me, and just showing up for them, and then also too, the other side to that is, because I do have a relationship, being honest, to be like, hey, I kind of overbooked myself, can we rearrange some
Right.
things, right?
Right.
We got to stop making up these fairy tales of like being superwoman, being superman, and doing all this type of stuff. We are all trying to grow and progress in life. All of
Right.
us are doing something, all of us have a dream that we want to get to. We just got to do it.
Yep. And my
That's
thing too is, like, you have to understand, when I win, you win. So we win.
exactly together.
Like, it doesn't matter who gets it first. It doesn't matter who gets it
Mhm.
second. It doesn't matter who told you about this and told me about that. When we win, when we each of us win individually, we win collectively. And that's what
Exactly.
a sisterhood is right there. That's what a bond is.
Absolutely.
That's what a business is, winning across the board. We got friends and associates and colleagues all over the place, but it depends on the type of relationship with you that you have with those people in order to excel, because each
Absolutely.
person is going to bring something different to the table
Oh
you
yeah.
know
Oh yeah.
so I don't care what place setting it is, as long as I'm still at the head, we all eating. So
Exactly.
that's how you do that.
Exactly. And we need more of that. Like, we need more community. And I love it. I mean, me and LR, we're not even in the same state.
Right.
Okay. And I mean, like, it's a weekly thing. Like, if not a daily thing where we're taking, I love it. Let me tell you, LR will accomplish one thing a day and literally text. If it's not the group, it's us individually. Like, because who just got a sponsorship
That
from
point.
somebody getting sick? Like, who just got booked because somebody else messed up? Like, and celebrate that with her. Like, there's not a time that goes by where I'm like, let's go. Like, you did that. Like, you putting on for you putting on for LR consulting. Like,
Right.
you is really doing that. There's not a time that goes by that we're not celebrating each other. We're
Yes.
always being honest. We're always checking in, but we're always celebrating, because if LR wins, I win. If I
That
win,
part.
LR wins, because we are gonna be on a private jet, honey. Don't get that twisted,
With
okay?
the booze. Okay.
Okay. We is all gonna be on there, okay? So yes, get you a village. Alrighty, so since we talking about what you do, your updates, I want to get into a deep conversation that we had off camera, right?
Mhm.
So you're an empowerment coach. I'm a social worker. We both have been very vocal that we are not therapists, okay?
No, that part.
Okay. I want to jump into so that's actually the topic for this episode. And so we're gonna go two ways with this conversation. We're gonna talk about why we're not therapists, but also too, I want to jump a little bit further into a conversation that we both had
Mhm.
with our therapists. So we're gonna see how the conversation flow, but just keep that
Yes.
in mind. We got two ways that we're going with this conversation. So first, let's jump into why we are not therapists.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, first of all, I am not licensed. Let's start there. I am not licensed to be a therapist.
Okay.
However, I have therapeutic tendencies. Okay. And I cannot make you do something that you don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Nevertheless, you have to want it more than I do. I talk about that all the time, about me wanting something more than the next person does.
Yeah.
And it ain't going to work out like that, because that ain't my issue. It's
Mm-mm.
your issue that I'm helping you get through. So I'm not a
Exactly.
therapist. I will empower you in your
Yeah.
right to be great, because you were born with that right already. So I'm there.
Mhm.
I'm there for it. But outside of that, I ain't no therapist.
Nope. Nope. Me neither. I don't have any therapeutic licensure. I have my master's in social work, which social work is not only therapy. I am a macro practitioner. If you don't know what that means, it's a community social worker, which means I literally work with the community. I work with policies. I work providing community resources. I help people bring things like when I'm with LR, helping her.
Yep.
conduct meetings for her nonprofit, even helping her stuff with LR Wilson Consulting, just organizing things because she's literally bringing a resource to corporate
Right.
these community social work. So helping her organize that, helping her find a grant writer, helping her, find just being able to communicate things. And that's literally like I'm an advocate for the community, but I do not have any of the credentials, right?
See?
Even right. Even
See?
in the last episode, I talked about how I took the licensed Masters of Social Work test and I failed by 4 points the first time and 2 points the second time. Even if I were to have that license, that still does not make me a therapist because
Right.
it's literally a licensed Master of Social Work. Now, if I go for the LCMSW, which I'm gonna be honest with y'all, that's probably real slim to none. Um,
It's slim none. Slim
right.
none right now.
And that's because it takes you gotta take the LMSW, then you gotta get 3,000 hours of supervised supervision from another clinical social worker,
It's too
and
much.
and then more than likely you gotta pay them to supervise you. It's a
It's
lot,
too
right? It's
much.
too much, right? And for somebody who don't even want to go the clinical route, is it worth it? No. So,
No.
anyways, so yeah, I don't have any therapeutic credentials at all. I don't act as a therapist. I'm very honest with
Right.
that. I've never had interest in one-on-one social work. I've never had interest in having my own private practice. It's
Mhm.
literally been me wanting to provide community resources to the community.
Right. Which
So,
which is needed.
exactly.
That's needed in the community. People don't recognize it right now, but I promise you, if you weren't there like before, it would be detrimental to their growth.
Oh, absolutely. And I listen, especially COVID, when
Yes.
people realize like all that social workers do, and people are like, "Oh, shoot, social workers do
Wait,
that?"
you do that? You do that?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's like-
absolutely.
and so
Absolutely.
so it's like we gotta one educate people on the industry, and then two, we just gotta educate people on who is providing for
Hold on,
you.
y'all. My clothes falling off. Hold
You
on.
are so funny.
This ain't that type of show. Like, yeah.
I am cracking up. You said, "Wait a minute, the girls is coming out." I am cracking up. Oh my goodness, I am cracking up. So, with that being said, so LR is an empowerment coach. I'm a community social worker. So, like
Mhm.
with your empowerment coaching, what are some of the main things you provide as a coach?
As a coach, the one detrimental thing that I provide is understanding your purpose.
Hmm.
And when I talk to, mostly my clients are women. Like I said, I'm a female empowerment coach. I've had some men too that graduated my program, but understanding who you are, and that comes with your purpose.
Hmm.
It's Healing is ugly. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. If you pretty and made up going all the way through, you're not doing it right. And before I can even give you a roadmap to get into what you want to meet certain goals, you have to dig deep and get some
Oh,
of that
absolutely.
ugliness out. You know, you have to show up and identify who you are. You have to be able to look in the mirror at yourself and say, "This is who I am," and accept that.
Accept it.
Yes, like this is who I am. Accept it. Here we go. So I want to make sure that everybody I work with, everybody I meet, they understand that their purpose is to be themselves.
Oh,
No matter
absolutely.
what, no matter what. And I do have people that I don't work with. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. Of course, I love making money. Thank you. I appreciate you. But if our energies don't connect, I don't do it because I'm not gonna be good for you and you're not gonna be good for me. I don't
It's
care how much you're gonna pay me.
it's not gonna mesh.
Right.
And all money ain't good money. Ooh, y'all don't want to
Facts.
talk about that.
Facts, facts. So that's the one thing that I do pride myself on is making sure that people understand their purpose and their purpose is to be themselves.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, I love that. So, with that being said, since we're always in the face of other people, let's
Hmm.
hop into this conversation with our therapist, which I
Yes.
just thought was so interesting because we're both very bubbly, confident. We're so good at what we do. But when we sat down and had a private lunch with just us,
Mhm.
we came across very similar conversations that we had with our therapist, which I
Yes.
find so interesting because we work with people every day and we teach people. And so the conversation was, my therapist told me I was too pessimistic, and LR's therapist told her she was too optimistic. And
Facts.
so, so I want you to kind of give us a real brief summary of that conversation with your therapist, and then I'll give mine, and then we'll go ahead.
Absolutely. So my therapist, first of all, she is a white lady with black tendencies. I'm gonna start there. She said to me, "You are so positive, and you love everybody where they are, and you glow, and you when you walk into my office, like you're glistening. Your energy is amazing." And then she said to me, "You are too optimistic."
Woo!
I said, huh? Wait, all this beautiful thing you just said about me. She's like, let me tell you why. She said, it's a blessing and a curse for you. She said, because the house could be burning down and you would be handing out buckets of water saying, it's okay. Everything's fine. Just throw that bucket on and we can move forward. She's like, everything is not to be moved forward on. Some
Yeah,
things you got to deal with,
exactly.
That hit hard for me. Like, she's like, you too optimistic. The house burning down and you out there passing out popsicles, telling people it's okay, and giving them a bucket of water and the like ashes on the ground, and you saying, oh, we can rebuild. Like she's like, you don't have a negative spirit, but you need it sometimes
Yeah,
in order
yeah,
to get to the reality of the situation. That
yeah.
shit hit hard.
I listen, you need it to get to the reality, right? And so
Right.
I've talked about positivity, gaslighting,
Hmm.
negative optimism. I've talked a lot about that on this show because you do get a lot of people who just get to a certain place where like nothing is wrong in life, right?
Yep.
Nothing is wrong. You just got to keep moving forward, no bad vibes. But when we do that, we kill ourselves a little bit because we're not
Yes.
facing reality.
Yes.
We're not
Yes.
facing reality. And so it's not to say you have to be negative every day of your life, but if your house is burning down, sweetheart, you hurt. That hurt.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. And all your shit in it. Yeah.
All your stuff is in it. If you get stabbed by somebody, you don't apologize to them for getting blood on their shirt.
Right.
You hurting.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that was an awakening for me.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And so she's having this awakening. I had the opposite awakening where my therapist was like, you're so used to things not happening for your good that when something good does happen, you're waiting for it to crash. So
Yes.
you can't even see the goodness that's in front of you, right? And one
Mm,
of my things that I've always had an issue with is showing gratitude. And she was like, that's why you have issues showing gratitude because you're waiting for everything to crash and burn.
mm.
And I'm just
That's
sitting
deep.
here, oh my gosh. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, that comes from two things. That comes from I came from a family that had a lot of negative self-talk, like,
Mhm.
"Oh, it's a Nolan thing. Oh, it's the Nolan curse." So that's engraved in my head. So that's something I
Yeah.
have to unlearn. Secondly, I was never taught how to just be in the moment. So it was
Mhm.
always, okay, what's next? It was always survival. So I'm learning not to be in survival. And so what I'm practicing today, which is by me journaling, I started doing weekly affirmations on the show. That helps me a lot. Probably helps me more than it
Yes.
helps the listeners, but we're still
It's
here.
supposed to.
And so even with that, like just being able to like recognize what it is that I do have, and just I think one of the biggest life lessons that I have is like what I said earlier, knowing that I'm literally doing everything I can and being grateful for that. Like
Yep.
even if that's like, Lisa, you did that. Like you opened this building, you did the grand opening, you got the sponsors. Like, and it seems so little, but not downplaying myself in that. So
Uh-huh.
I've had, and that was an ugly truth about me that I had to become okay with. I had to
Yes.
accept that because I'm the self love advocate. I'm Lisa. I got the red, yellow,
Hello.
orange hair. Like, I'm the life of the
Hello, this my hot Cheeto.
okay. No form of hot Cheeto puff. What you mean I'm
Right.
pessimistic? I don't like that. Like, and so I think like
Fact.
I think we're good at what we do because we're very honest with ourselves. We can have these
Mhm.
conversations with our clients. We can have these conversations with our partners, our business partners. And whenever our intimate partners decide to enter our life, we can have the
Mhm.
conversations with them too. Like, this is what I struggle with. And yes, even though like I do have all this positive light coming from me, I'm still human at the end of the day, and these are
Right.
some of the things that I struggle with.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
and I just it's we have ugly truths about ourselves that we just
Yeah.
don't like.
Yep.
Like,
And also those ugly truths can also turn into some beautiful moments of
exactly.
reflection.
Mhm.
Beautiful things that look at me being optimistic again, y'all. Y'all know this my blessing and curse, right? And those beautiful moments can also have you, I'm sorry, those ugly moments can also make beautiful connections to things that you never would have thought. Like you show up in rooms that you never would have thought you would have been in. People
Yep.
talking about you and referring you. Like I said, people referring me. I ain't never met these people a day in my life, but it's how I showed
Never.
up. You know what I mean? It's how I showed up and how I carry myself, regardless. Because
Yes.
whatever you gonna get me. I don't care if it's 9 a.m., 5 p.m., 8 p.m. You gonna get me for who I am authentically. I'm gonna do the
Exactly.
work now because I know my business. I'm gonna do the work. But you gonna get who I am, no matter what. You gonna get the fun me, you gonna get the ratchet me, you gonna get the ghetto me, you gonna get the spiritual me, you gonna get the praise is what I do me. You gonna
Yeah.
get all of that wrapped in one because that's who I am. I don't
Exactly.
come fake, phony, none of that. I'm gonna show up like LR shows up.
Okay. And you got to, because that's who you are as a person. And that's me. Like, I feel like I've always tried to fit in, and it's never worked. Like, one of the things I'm a cursor, baby. I'm gonna drop a good cuss word. I love me a
Uh-huh.
good cuss word. Okay,
Hmm.
I'm gonna drop it. It's gonna
That's called
come.
expression.
Yeah, and I love it. Okay, love it, and I'm gonna drop me a good cuss word. I can't hide that from you. And if you are uncomfortable with somebody cursing, then I'm just probably not the person you want to talk to.
Yeah, that's another thing that I tell people too. Like when I'm getting ready to do like speaking in conferences and stuff, I was like, listen, I curse. I'm just gonna let you know that now.
Mm.
I work in corrections. I curse,
Yeah,
but I will try to tone it back as much as I can when I remember. But I'm just gonna let you know you're gonna get the message. It's gonna pop
okay.
off. Okay.
It's gonna pop up. You're gonna be okay.
I
We
know
is
how to
gonna be
vacillate between worlds. You know what I mean? But I'm just giving you a forewarning just in case. So
exactly, exactly. I think, and I just think that's so dope. Like, I just feel like having people that know who they are,
hmm.
and having people just be confident who it is. Like, because I'm also coming to that place where, like, I know everybody is not my person.
Ooh,
Everybody is
come
not
on
my
now.
niche. And I think this is something like working in the industries that we work in. Like, everybody wants healing to be the same,
Yes.
monolithic,
That
right?
that cookie cutter healing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was at a women's event, probably at the beginning of 2023, and there was a lady there. I think her program that she had just started was phenomenal. It was for single moms who want to travel, but they
Hmm.
never get a chance to travel. And so what she's doing is she's doing a Mother's Day getaway trip, right? But there were some women in the crowd that was like, "Well, I can't let my kids go and I can't do this." And she was like kind of being hard on those women. And I said, "But let me stop you right here, because what I'm hearing is that's just not your client.
Right.
That's not
That's
your
all that
person.
is. It's
You know,
okay.
you stick to the people who are ready to give their kids away and go on this plane with you. But
Hmm.
like this group of people over here, maybe there's another group for single moms or just parents who needs to get away, but they want to bring their kids.
Right.
There's
I
something
mean,
out there for everybody."
I don't know how that works, but when you want to get away from them,
Right.
but whatever, do you?
Right. But there's a support, there's a group somewhere out there, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
yeah, don't focus so much on the people who are objecting your purpose, right? Like,
Yes.
me and Healing She Got Faith, I've learned over the years, if it's a fresh grief, I'm probably not the program for you,
Yes.
because I don't typically get people who are freshly grieving. I typically get people who have some time in between, and it's like,
Right.
okay, I done tried all of this. I need a community. I need help. Cool.
Absolutely.
But people who are freshly grieving, a lot of times they need therapy. They
Oh
need
yeah.
their man. They need their family, and
Right.
they need stuff that I don't necessarily provide as a program.
Right.
Because I know that I'm able to say that, so I'm able to make referrals. Like, you're freshly grieving. I know this person. I'm gonna do a referral, and then once you're done with them, come back to me, and we'll
Absolutely.
be okay. So I think, like, knowing that and knowing your niche, and celebrating who you are. Like, everybody isn't for you, and everybody's not going to heal the way you heal. And I think as healers, social workers, coaches, all of that, we have to be able to say no to the people who are objecting our purpose, because it's not all going to look the same. So, that's my little tidbit for anybody out there
Yes.
that's in the community. So,
And she
um,
the guru. She the grief guru. Okay? Grief, healing, trauma, she the guru. You better hit her up. Like, just hit
yes,
her up.
healing.shegotfaith.com.
That part.
Hit us up. Go on the calendar and book. Follow us on all of the social medias: TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of that. LinkedIn. Come on.
All of them. All the medias.
Yes.
All the socials.
And since we put a shout out there, we are looking for sponsors for our building. So hit us
That
up.
part.
We got a coffee bar, a snack bar, we got programming that all need sponsorship. So hit us up, please. So,
Y'all heard her.
so before we log off of here, do you have any last minute words, suggestions? You want to give yourself flowers, anything?
I want to say thank you first of all for having me on here. You know, you're my boo, so I'm
Mhm.
on here anytime, wherever, whenever. You know,
Yes.
and also I don't want to give myself flowers, but I want to give you flowers for
Oh, thank
being
you.
able to maneuver things
Oh,
and
thank
do it
you.
in a way that you need to do it, not because it's
Mhm.
somebody else, but because it's the way that you need to show up. And I want you to be more inclusive of yourself and
Thank
celebrating
you.
you, because that's what it's all about. Celebrate you
Mhm.
so that you can fly, can blossom and flourish and keep doing those amazing things for the community. Hey,
Oh,
y'all, get over there to the center. Okay, get
yeah.
over there to the community center. It's out there for a
Yes.
reason, for community. Okay.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Well, I want to give you flowers for being vulnerable, for being you, and you are really doing it. I love seeing everything that's coming to life with She and LR Consulting. Like
Yes.
I tell you, we gonna be two organizations in corporate world,
Hmm,
and the organizations are gonna be working themselves and making us money, and we gonna be on
that
our
part.
private jets.
Hmm.
Okay. So I do want to thank you. You are always welcome on the show. You are always welcome to any programming that we have. I
Yes.
just want to say thank you for being a light in a dark place and always showing up and showing out. So I appreciate
Yes.
you and I love you.
Love you. Hey, y'all hit up my website, www.lrwilson.net. Thank y'all.
Yes, all of that will be in the show notes. Make sure you check out social media. Y'all know I go hard for these Grief Beyond Death
Yes.
episodes. So it'll be some social media posts, some short videos, because y'all know I got into that. So before we leave, I'm going to end with our weekly affirmation, which is I deserve every bit of success I strive to have. So from now until next Monday, make sure you are repeating this to yourself. I deserve every bit of success I strive to have, because everything that you desire is yours.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your Monday, and we will catch you next time. Thank you.